Jews are pilgrims too. In fact, we just read about the first pilgrim refugee searching for a new life, for safety and security, when our ancestor Jacob is fleeing his brother. It's Thanksgiving weekend, so we think about the pilgrim story. I know it has some issues, but it really helps us think about what does it take to go on a dangerous journey, and how can we succeed when we go on them. I want to tell two Jewish pilgrimage stories to inspire us during this uncertain Thanksgiving season. The first one takes us to the 17th century in Recife, Brazil, northeast Brazil, which is at the moment controlled by the Dutch West India Company. And because there are Jews on its board of directors, they are tolerant of Jews, especially the ones fleeing from Portugal and from Portuguese Brazil. In fact, they feel so safe that they build the first synagogue in South America. But their safety was not long lasting, because in 1654, the Portuguese take over the colony of Recife and bring the Inquisition and really the expulsion of the Jews. So the 1,450 Jews get on to various ships. There are 16 ships heading back to the Netherlands. But one of those ships, named the Valk, with 23 Jews aboard, gets storm-tossed and goes off course and lands in Cuba. Many of us know about Johnny Depp and the Pirates of the Caribbean, and we kind of laugh and enjoy those stories. But guess what? The Pirates of the Caribbean were real, and they were quite dangerous. And so the passengers of this ship, the Valk, including the 23 Jews, were held captive on board for a few weeks as the pirates tried to figure out how to make money out of them. We know too well about Jews being captive. They are eventually freed, and they are able to book passage on the St. Katrina heading towards New Amsterdam. Hopefully that will be a place of safe harbor for them. They arrive in September of 1654, just 34 years after the Mayflower. We call the St. Katrina the Jewish Mayflower, because these 23 Jews were the first ones to really set up a community in the North America. The other were always a few Jews there and there, but this one is a concentrated set. And of course, they run into trouble in the beginning, because the governor of New Amsterdam is Peter Stuyvesant. And if you know, I went to Stuyvesant for a year, that he had a peg leg. He was an anti-Semite, and he did not want these 23 Jews living in his town. But remember, there are Jews on the board of directors of the Dutch West India Company. And they say to the governor, if you want to stay here, Mr. Stuyvesant, you need to let the Jews in. So he relents, and the 23 Jews settle in New Amsterdam. And they build another synagogue. This one they call She'erith Israel, She'erit Yisrael, meaning the remnant of Israel. And if you go to 70th Street in Central Park West, you can still join and be part of that synagogue community founded in 1654. And this place, this country, this land has been a safe haven for Jews for over 400 years. And I know it feels scary right now, that perhaps that safe haven is no longer as safe as it once was. But I have the faith that we, just like those 23 Jews were able to beat down Peter Stuyvesant, that we will be able to continue to find the safety here in America. And how about Israel? What's the pilgrimage story to Israel? Well, there's many stories, obviously, of Aliyah. But I think of the Aliyah that allowed the building of the town Rishon LeZion, the first permanent Zionist settlement, which is just a little southeast of modern-day Tel Aviv. It was built up and settled in 1883 after a huge pogrom in Kiev in 1881, convinced enough Jews that they needed to flee. While some tried to flee here to America, others had this crazy thought. What would it be like if we were to return to the land of our birthplace, of our birthright, to the land of Israel? And thankfully, one of those dreamers, Edmund Rothschild, of the Paris scion of the branch of the Rothschild family, had enough money to help fund some of that dream. And so they purchase an old watering hole, they dig up some water, and it is in this town, Rishon LeZion, that you start to see some of the milestones and the sort of the foundational stones that are going to be part of the state of Israel. It's where the first school to teach only in Hebrew, with Eliezer ben Yehuda as one of its teachers, in over 2,000 years. It's the town where on the 3rd anniversary, they unfurled a flag. The flag has a blue Jewish star and 2 blue stripes on the top and bottom. You know what that flag is. It's in Rishon LeZion, the Naphtali Hertz Imber composes a poem, Tikvatenu. And Shmuel Cohn takes a Moldavian folk song and puts tune to those words. We know that becomes the Hatikva 60 years later. It is in Rishon LeZion that pilgrims came, that people came to say, here is where we can build a home. It's because of the faith and the perseverance and grit of these chalutzim, these pioneers, giving back all the way to Jacob Avinu, Jacob our ancestor, that we today are able to stand strong, to stand tall, and to know that yet we are under attack. We are able to stand our ground, I guess, to fight back. I hate to say that, but we have to be able to say that we can fight back with our arms, with our weapons, with our mouths, with our money, and to say that we here are staying. This is our home. We are entitled to a land that we can call ourselves, and we are entitled to safety, because only when we are in safety, as Jacob said in the Torah portion, when we have clothes on our back and food to eat, and we're able to raise our children and teach them our values and our tradition, only then can we say thank you to the one above. And so, yes, we continue to say thank you to God, Matir Asurim, who frees the captive. We say thank you for all that we have here in Long Island, and know that the fight needs to continue on, and we will take the pilgrim spirit, and hopefully next Thanksgiving we'll have more to be thankful for. Shabbat Shalom.